There are well over 60 brawlers in Brawl Stars, and they're adding more all the time. So in this video, I'm going to explain every single brawler in Brawl Stars, as well as tell you a little bit about them, starting with Shelly. Shelly is the starting brawler. She can chip at mid-range to build up the only thing good about her, her super. It destroys tanks. She's mainly known for camping in bushes, and overall one of the worst brawlers in the game, but can be good on very bushy maps. Mid-range brawler that spawns a large bear named Bruce for her super. All of her gadgets and star powers enhance this bear and is the focus of her kit. Her shots pierce enemies, and she does well hiding behind cover and peeking out with shots. Long-range, high-damage dealing brawler with low health and a high skill cap. Fires a stream of 6 shots per ammo. His super is an amped-up main shot that can break through walls. Up close, he deals massive damage. Make you rethink your life choices when you get too close to him kind of damage. His range, however, is very short. His super charges across the map, destroying walls. Brock is a long-range sharpshooter who talks a lot of smack. He fires rockets that explode, dealing small area damage, and leaves a patch of fire on the ground. His super fires multiple rockets, dealing a ton of damage, but his shots are easier to dodge than other sharpshooters. This luchador's name means the cousin in Spanish. He's a short-range tank with high hit points, high damage, and high mobility. If you like teaming in solo showdown, then this is your man. Robotic bartender that throws toxic drinks is either amazing or trash, depending on the map. His super provides great area control. Poco is an undead mariachi whose job is to keep everyone else alive, and he's one of the few healers in the game. His shot is on the longer side of mid-range in a very wide cone that pierces enemies. Short-range tanky brawler whose shots pierce enemies. Her super makes her nearly invincible, mainly only viable at short range on grassy maps, but if she gains position on you, it can be really tough to displace her. She is the daughter of Pam in the Junker trio. She shoots balls of electricity that bounce from target to target. Her super is a dog turret by the name of Scrappy, who fires at the nearest enemy in range until it's destroyed. Insane and grumpy miner who throws sticks of dynamite at people. Deals massive damage, but can be hard to hit his shots effectively. Also, he really does not like it when you touch his canary. One of the most hated brawlers in the game because of how much area control he has and how long his mines he throws stay on the map. For his super, he rips off his own head and it tracks down the nearest enemy, dealing big damage if it's not killed before it reaches you. A walking, talking arcade game that was bullied earlier in life and became self-aware, and now he's sought out his revenge. He's a long-range brawler that can put out a ton of damage and has a lot of health. However, his big weakness is his movement speed, as he is the slowest brawler in the game. He is a robotic pool bot who enjoys bouncing his balls off of walls.
What?
He has low hit points, but great range. He's sort of a tank/assassin hybrid. He deals enormous damage up close with his double shotguns. His super charges automatically, and when it's used, he can roll up to enemies or even over water. Also, despite being a pirate, his voice sounds like he's 8 years old.
Totally legit pirate over here.
Penny is a pirate who shoots bags of money at people, which is kind of the opposite of what a pirate should do. But for her super, she will drop a mortar that will rain down bombs until it's destroyed. He's a miner and a nerd as well, and he really loves rocks and all things geology. He has good movement with his flying hook gadget, and he has excellent damage with his super, where he turns into a top. Now, if you love auto aim, well then this is your brawler. She's a foul-mouthed construction worker who drills the ground, dealing damage in the circle all around her. She attacks through walls, and her super pulls everyone close to her. He's an orphan whose best friend is a balloon animal. He's a utility brawler that can fit into almost any team. Long range, moderate damage. Can use your super on yourself or your teammates to give them a shield. Bo is a Native American archer that fires 3 explosive arrows per shot from his bow. For his super, he throws 3 mines on the ground, and if you walk over them, they will explode. And even though you know where the mines are, you're probably still gonna die from them. Ems is a social media obsessed mummy/zombie. She uses her hairspray to kill others, and her super slows down anyone in its range. Stu is a punch-drunk stuntman that has had his head knocked around more than Rocky Balboa. He fires flames from his fingers and rolls around on one wheel. It only takes one single shot to charge his super, where he can dash around. Piper is a long-range sniper that fires shots from an umbrella gun. The further her shots travel, the more damage they deal. Her super allows her to jump into the air, leaving behind 4 bombs that deal damage and blow up walls. Pam is Jessie's mother and the leader of the Junker Trio. She fires a barrage of scraps, dealing huge damage at close range. Her super is a healing station that constantly ticks and regens health. And she's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Frank is the highest hit point brawler in the game. For his main shot, he swings a large hammer in a wide cone that pierces enemies. For his super, he winds up a big slam of that hammer, and if it hits you, you're stunned and you're basically dead. BB has, let's just say, an unhealthy obsession with her bat, which she has aptly named Mr. Bat. When charged up, her main attack will knock back opponents. For her super, she throws a big bubble that bounces off of walls and always seems to hit you, no matter if you think you've dodged it or not. B is a long-range, high-damage dealer that is obsessed with bees. If she hits one shot, her next one is supercharged, dealing massive damage. Her super slows down enemies, and if you get hit by it, you're basically just target practice. She's a robotic helper for the Junker Trio. She shoots 3 small orbs of electricity in a diamond pattern. For her super, she pilots a small robotic vessel that will explode on whatever it hits. One of the most toxic and most hated brawlers in Brawl Stars. He's an assassin that leaps on enemies with a super and deals a flurry of damage. Each hit heals himself for a small amount. He will also always give you a thumbs down and spin on you whenever he kills you, even though it took 0 skill. Cheapskate owner of the gift shop who does not give refunds, however, throws money at people for his attacks. Makes a lot of sense. He's a security guard who ironically is afraid of children laughing at him. For his main attack, he throws a bomb that splits into a cross pattern, and his super is just a larger, amped up version of his main attack, but expands further and breaks walls. Bonnie is a child who lives in a cannon. She has 2 forms. A cannon form where she deals good damage at long range with high health, but moves slowly. For her super, she fires herself out of her cannon and into her second form, where she can deal even more damage, but with very little health. Mortis is a geriatric gravedigger who runs his own mortuary. For his main attack, he dashes, slicing people with his shovel. He is one of the most polarizing and high skill cap brawlers in the game. Tara gets her name from the tarot cards that she throws. These 3 cards can pierce enemies and deal decent damage at close range, but mainly relies on her super to make plays. This super will pull all enemies caught in it to the middle of a vortex, dealing damage and grouping them up for her to kill. Long range brawler whose shots split and travel even further. For his super, he calls on his genie in the lamp to hook other brawlers to pull him close for a kill. Max is addicted to energy drinks. She runs really fast and has 4 ammo that can put a lot of pressure on your enemies with multiple shots. For her super, she makes her and any teammate near her get a massive speed boost. Mr. P is the angry boss penguin and baggage handler at the Snowtail environment. He throws suitcases like every baggage handler at the airport. His super is a station that spawns little robotic penguins that attack the nearest player. Sprout is a rolling plant that really likes trees. He throws balls of vines that bounce off of walls, and for a thrower is relatively long range. For his super, he throws a hedge that will create a temporary wall. Byron is a long-range healer / damage dealer. If you shoot your own team, it heals them. If you shoot the enemy team, it damages them. His super is a large potion that deals damage or heals. Squeak is a pile of dog drool that came to life in outer space. Yes, Brawl Stars is weird. He throws sticky blobs that attach to targets and explode with a delay. For his super, he throws a big blob that explodes, sending smaller blobs in all directions. He's a silent film actor that fires a single shot from his finger gun. His shots can be somewhat hard to hit, but deal good damage. For his super, he creates a portal that he travels through instantly. Teammates can also follow, but with a delay. Walking Cactus and mascot for Star Park, which is the theme park in which the world of Brawl Stars is set in. He throws cactus balls that split, dealing damage in a star pattern. For his super, he creates a circular patch of cactus spikes that slow and deal damage to enemies. Crow is a fast and nimble bird assassin that throws 3 daggers that deal damage and inflict poison over time. For his super, he leaps into the air, throwing daggers in all directions, and then throws them again when he lands. Stealthy assassin who loves lollipops. He throws ninja stars that deal more damage the closer he is to an opponent. With his super, he can go invisible, giving him the ability to sneak up on opponents and take them out. Sandy is a mid-range control brawler who is always very sleepy. He throws sand in a cone, dealing moderate damage. For his super, he creates a large sandstorm where any friendly brawlers can go and become invisible. Long-range, fire-breathing entertainer. While holding the attack button, she fires a constant stream of fire. One of the more easy brawlers to play, as you can can literally just hold auto aim when in range. For her super, she throws an oil patch and can light it on fire, burning grass and enemies. She has two forms: normal form, where she is absolute dog water, and mech form, where she slays everything. She has a barrage of bullets from 2 cannons. In her mech form, her super swings in a big arc, dealing massive damage. Practical Joker of the Candyland trio. Each shot increases in the amount of projectiles until he throws 3, and then it cycles back to 1. His super is one of 5 randomly chosen supers. Extremely strong at close range and all around a good brawler, as well as has the best voice lines in the game.
You have a strategy. Aw, aren't you special?
Gale is a senior citizen working in the Snowtail for Mr. P. He shoots snowballs from his snowblower, but he's mainly a defensive brawler with a super that pushes you away or a gadget that keeps you at range. Surge is a frat boy party robot turned superhero. He levels up each time he gets his super and uses it, getting faster, more range, and splitting shots the higher tier he ranks up. Colette is a crazed fan of all of the brawlers and especially Spike. Her main shot deals percentage damage. The higher the remaining health on the target, the more damage it does. For her super, she charges forward and back, dealing damage to anything in both directions. This dude really loves snow cones. He throws them at you, and if they hit you, they deal damage and add brain freeze. And if you get full brain freeze, you're stunned for what seems to be like forever. For his super, he creates a large ice patch that makes it very hard to control your brawler, as well as inflicts more brain freeze. Ruffs is the captain of the Star Force trio. He is a space dog that fires a laser gun that can bounce off of walls. His super creates a power-up, boosting your teammates' damage if they pick it up. Belle is a long-range brawler and wife to Sam. She fires a burst of energy that, if it hits, will bounce to the next closest target if there's one in range. With a gadget, she lays traps that slow down enemies. Buzz is the lifeguard at the Velocirapids water park. He also used to be a trombone player, although we're not sure why that matters. He has a large ring around him that, when any enemy is within its range, will charge his super. Once charged, he can throw his life buoy at an enemy and pull himself to them, stunning them and making it very highly likely that he will get a kill. Ash is a literal trash can that attacks with a broom, and he's very manky. He has a rage bar that raises when dealing or receiving damage. The higher the rage bar goes, the faster he runs and the more damage he does. Star of the Brawlywood environment, who loves to love herself. She has an ego so big that for her super, she spawns a clone of herself that mirrors her movements and shots. Fang is a wannabe martial arts film actor and best friend to Buster. His main shot, he kicks his shoe at enemies, dealing small damage but building up that super. Now for his super, he has a long-range flying kick that chains onto any other target near them, dealing damage to them all. An alien that is part of the Star Force with Colonel Ruff. She flies around in a little ship that can float over water. Her main shot, she shoots out eggs. For her super, she spawns an egg sac that, if left untouched, will hatch little aliens that seek out enemies and deal damage over time. She's Bonnie's older sister, the niece of Stu, and she really wants to be a singer. Her main shot must be charged up to fire at longer range. The longer you hold aim, the further the shot goes. For her super, she flies through the air, dropping bombs at regular intervals to enemies below. Otis is a scuba diver who loves to paint graffiti. His main shot fires out paintballs, dealing high damage. For his super, he launches a starfish at a player, and if it lands, they are silenced and will take damage over time. Belle's husband and hater of bots. He starts every game with his super fully charged. For that super, he throws his fist weapons, dealing large damage to anything that they hit, and if he picks up his weapons, he instantly recharges that super. He is an extremely aggro brawler who goes full bore non-stop. He is the projector operator and wannabe action star of the theater. For his main shot, he fires out flashes of light in a cone, dealing more damage the closer an enemy is. For his super, he puts a shield up in front of him, stopping and reflecting damage for a short time. She is the boss of the Candyland and purveyor of sweet treats. She's a long-range brawler that, if she stands still, her range becomes even further. However, for her super, she fires a massive projectile that covers the entire map and inflicts damage to anything in its path. So that was all the brawlers in Brawl Stars. Which one's your favorite?